So today we're going to do a multi-layered flower, petalled flower. These are the colours we're going to use, and we're going to use our 3mm crochet hook. So we start with the yellow to create the centre. Right, so now we're ready to start our next round of petals. We've got 12 double crochet around here. Our petal is going to be worked over 3 stitches. And so we're going to just attach our second colour of yarn just with a simple knot to any of the double crochet in that centre round. Okay, and we're going to pull up a loop to get started. So the petal is worked this way. You work 4 chain, then a double treble, so that's yarn round twice, pull up a loop, yarn round through 2, yarn round through 2, yarn round through 2, then a treble. Then in the middle of our 3 stitches we're going to work 2 trebles, and then in the 3rd stitch we're going to work the reverse of the beginning, so that's a treble, so that's 4 trebles in total, a double treble, and 4 chain. Now the 4 chain we then slip stitch to the 1st stitch of our next petal. Now we're just going to repeat that. With our last 4 chain we just slip stitch into where we started, and that is that layer done. Now that is quite a nice little flower on its own, but we want to put another layer behind. So this is the same principle whether you use another colour or not. So we're going to use another colour, so we're going to fasten this one off with a slip stitch, cut the end, pull it through, and we're going to continue with this paler colour, paler orange. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to between any of the petals. Now we want to do this from the wrong side, and as we work round we're going to pick up loops here. So where you can see the petals have come together there, you want to slip your hook underneath, and just that's where we're going to attach at the back. Now go back under those 2 loops and pull up a chain loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to do chain loops between, and we're going to do 5 chain loops, 5 chains and make a loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to attach that here again behind where the stitch comes down, the back 2 loops of it. We're going to go underneath them. I'm just going to show you this close up so you can see where I mean when you pick up loops. This is the 1st stitch of the petal, and you can see it's got a V shape of 2 loops going into the stitch below. We're just going to insert our crochet hook underneath there. Then you pull a loop through and then through again. Then we are going to do another 5 chain, and again pick up those 2 loops, and slip stitch there, and you do that behind each petal. So now we're ready to start our second round of petals. It's very similar. You start with 4 chain, and this time instead of working into stitches we're going to work into the chain loop we've created. So we're going to do 1 double treble. There will be more stitches in each petal because we need to make it bigger, so that's 1 double treble, 2 double trebles, 5 trebles, 2 more double trebles, your chain loop will be getting very full now, but that helps create the shape of the petal. And you finish with 4 chain, slip stitch into your chain loop at the back, then you slip stitch into the next chain loop, and you repeat the process. So there again, you see we've got a second layer of petals. Now you could stop there if you wanted to, but we're going to add a third layer. So the third layer of petals is added in just the same way. I'm just going to trim off these ends at the back so we can see what we're doing. So we are going to do chain loops again, and we're going to do them. We're going to take that one from one petal and that one from the next, and we're going to work our chain stitch through there. First we're going to attach our next colour of yarn, which is this nice sort of light red colour, and then we're going to insert our needle back under our hook and pull up a chain. Okay, so again this petal is going to be bigger. We're going to do 7 chain in between, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've done our 7 chain. We're going to catch there the last one of loop of that petal and the first loop of that petal, pull through a loop and then pull it right through in a slip stitch. Then we're going to do 7 chain again, and we're going to repeat all the way around. You can see we've got our 4 chain loops. We've got 7 in each one now. So we're going to expand the petal, but it's going to be made in the same way. So it's 4 chain, then it's 3 double treble, so we're increasing by 1 stitch every time. And then it's 8 trebles. So that's 8 trebles. You can always hinge these along a little bit if you've not got enough room. 3 double trebles. And then 4 chain and slip stitch down into our treble loop. And then, as we did before, we repeat that in the other 3 petal loops. So when we've completed our 4th petal, we've got our 4 chain on the hook. We're then going to slip stitch to the place where we started, through, and then we're going to fasten off by pulling that through the slip stitch. So if we spread that out, turn it over, you can now see, we've got 3 layers of petals, and that's our finished flower.